What's up, YouTube? This is a special little blurb that I'm doing because I really want to say thank you to the cities of, and when I say the cities of, I don't mean, well, I mean the cities of everybody that is, can you see me? Part of um, the cities of Hallandale Beach, Florida, and the cities of Aventura, Florida. Um, they made it a great day for me today. Of course, I went out for my interviews, and when I say the cities of, that's not limited to some of the city employees, some of the businesses, small businesses, and individuals in Hallandale Beach. In addition to that, um, just the people in general that make up Hallandale Beach and that make up Aventura, people that are transplants, those that are wealthy, those that are indigent, young and old. I mean, everybody really made my day today, like an absolutely wonderful day. Um, went on two interviews today. The first one was a small business. People were real personable, friendly, down to earth. Um, I gave a lot of my information, how I think it went. Um, for me, the way that I felt from my point of view is that, I believe professional is professional. And, some of the questions I felt were a little too personal. But because there was a female present, it didn't alarm me as much. But I'm the kind of person that I really don't want. I mean, just people like some of the questions. I'll give you an example. Some of the questions I didn't like, you know, I mean, obviously I had another appointment to go to. The person asked me, and I try to keep it vague. Like I, was had a lunch appointment. He asked me who was the lunch appointment with. He asked me specifically where was it at. Then he made comments as to what direction it was in. Then he made comments as to, offering me a ride there. Then when I said no, he offered again, then offered again, and then was like, why not? Now, had there not been a female present, I probably would have felt uncomfortable. But maybe that's that person's way of trying to see if you would be a good fit and fit in. If I'm not working at a place and I haven't been hired, um, I'm just not comfortable with that. And then two, I mean, I'm healthy. God gave me everything I need for me to get from point A to B, and that's how I'm gonna get there. I value my personal time. I think work is work. And like I said, I hadn't been hired. I was just in an interview. So it could have been a test to see how I respond to people that are trying to get personal information from me. That is prohibited. I am too nice of a person, so I will give a lot. Like I gave, ended up telling him where I was going, the name of the place I was going, but I stopped it short when he was asking me exactly with whom, because that was not his business. And then on top of that too, I didn't have a lot of time to talk about all my personal stuff. I wanted you to know what I could do for the company, and that's it. Um, so, anyways, I went to the second interview and I came back to pick up the employee manual, which I don't know if it means anything or not, but I came back to pick it up. It didn't have his business card with it. He said he didn't have his business cards. The assistant said they didn't have the business cards prepared. So, second interview, I think the lady lied about what she had on. Turned out to be, if she was Dominican, she was black Dominican. If she wasn't, she lied. Um, she appeared to be my age, maybe a couple years younger than me. Um, I think it would be a good opportunity because of the type of person she is and the type of connections that she may have. That possibly, this would be somewhere where I could grow personally, but I want to make sure that she knows that I am there to work for her to take care of her business or what she needs to have done. Her concern was that she thought I'd be bored with it, and I was like, no, because there's so many different things, facets, and things to learn. There's no way, and so that was that. And I told her a little bit about my background and my history and who I am. So basically, she's going to give me a trial on Monday. And the other company's going to call me back on Monday morning as well. So thank you to those two employers, yay, that interviewed me, that gave me the time of day, that treated me with respect. The first one I felt was a little pushy with personal information, but whatever it is that he wants with his company is what he wants. And I'm glad that he had a female present, because if he did not have a female present, I have to admit I would have been very uncomfortable with that line of questioning. She was trying to teach me. Basically, she didn't say anything so she could let him kind of run everything. So she was trying to teach me by example to be that way. Thank you so much to the second employer again, taking the time, giving me the time of day, and telling me about what you had available. Hopefully, you pay me when I go to work. So that's that for that portion. Thank you to the residents of Hallandale Beach and of Aventura, on my way to go. Thank you to the city workers of Hallandale Beach. Thank you for allowing me to have a place to do business. You know what I mean? I want to say thank you again to Hallandale Beach for that. Thank you to Hallandale Beach for having places where your residents and people that happen to be passing through can come and meet up. Thank you so much for this young man. I happened to bump into him like maybe a week or so ago, and again I was job hunting, and he was, I guess, waiting to start work. I don't know what his situation is. He may be indigent, but he works at a certain place, and I happened to bump into him again, and I was like, "Hey, you feel like going for a long walk?" So we ended up, and I went to go, pick up my employment paperwork. Doesn't mean I'm hired. I just have paperwork to review. That's all it means. And then, he walked with me to, to go take care of another errand, and I thank him for his company and his presence. What was very ironic to me, and he may not have been paying me any attention the whole time I was running, talking to him a minute, because I'm used to being by myself. So to have somebody to talk to was just like, I just vented it all out, and I'm sure he probably, pretty sure he wasn't really listening to me. Um, so and I shouldn't have done that, because he has a lot to say too, because that's why, because I think, because the last time we spoke he did a lot of talking. I just happened to be coming from the post office, and he was sitting in like the little semicircle, and I struck up a conversation, and he had a lot to say, and I learned a lot about him. um a lot of coincidences, because his ex was, I forgot where she's from, Filipino or something, and I'm Asian and black. But we talked about his relationship, and what he had going on down here. A lot of similarities, oddly. And um and then he worked at this place that I applied for, but I decided not to take a job there. So a lot of similarities. Just really big coincidences. So anyways, so he kept me company, so I thank God for him. He waited patiently while I went to go run errands. And it's almost like, whenever, it's very rare, but every once in a blue moon I'll pick up like a male kind of off the street. And when I say off the street, I just mean just like somebody I don't know, but for some reason I feel comfortable talking to them, and I'll be like, "Hi, such and such and such, blah blah blah." And then, and they're pretty cool, and it's just like, they'll like the apartment that I got when I was in Hollywood. That's what happened, and it wasn't like I knew that guy was cool. I was actually kind of intimidated with him, because that guy from Hollywood, he was kind of sexy. There was something sexy about him, and I just wanted to know a place to find Wi-Fi. And I was in a bad situation, and when you're in a bad situation, you really don't want to present yourself to anybody. But he stayed with me for the rest of the day, and he really was a big help to me, you know. And yeah, I still am thankful to him. When I see him, I don't speak, and he doesn't speak to me, but I'm very thankful to him. I mean, honestly, I really am. Even though my actions and my behavior may not show it, I'm so thankful to him. I mean, I just cannot put into words how thankful I am to him. I'm thankful for this man today. I was comfortable with him, maybe because if I wasn't in the same situation, um, I probably would not have been comfortable. But I was comfortable with him, and I thank him, because he could have been doing anything else, or maybe not, but I appreciated him taking his free time to spend with me, for me to do what I got to do and have some company in the background. So I thank that man for keeping me company today. I think, the workers in the government building, that, greeted me professionally. I thank them for, taking whatever information they needed from me to make sure that I had, the right credentials and validity to be where I was. Thank them for getting to know me and know who I am, and acknowledge me and appreciate my presence, and share with me a little bit about them and their creativity and what they like. I thank you for the government workers in the government building. Um, who else am I thankful to? Thankful for transportation. People that helped me with transportation here and there. It was their job to do it, but I'm still thankful for it. Courteous, kind, professional. Thank you for the residents of Aventura, courteous, kind, professional. Thank you for the teenagers of Aventura that helped me remember. I mean, it's all the same. These girls, bright, bubbly, same as I was when I was like between 14 and 17, and just beautiful girls. And all of these girls were girls that were well off, so they reminded me of all carbon copies of Paris Hilton. But and Paris to me is the real Barbie. So, but beautiful young girls singing along to songs that I sang because they had the oldies music playing on the station. So thankful to you, beautiful teenage girl. So polite, so respectful, so fun loving. But teenagers nonetheless. A little bit of gossip here and there. But thank you so much for taking me back to when I was that age and reminding me. So thank you, young girls. Thank you, teenagers. Oh, thank you to the men. Thank you to um, there was a black male. I was running for the bus, and maybe he thought that I had a condo somewhere, which I do not. But he was telling me, how basically he was the one that actually had the bus driver stop for me. But there was a couple of people involved, so that's why I said thank you to people at Aventura. There was a couple that was walking by. They saw me running. They made sure the bus stopped, and I guess the guy on the bus also made sure the bus stopped. And he introduced himself to me, and he told me that he was open up to me about himself. He told me how he worked two jobs, and I was like, oh, you must be on your way to work. And he was like, well, I'm just getting off for one job and I'm on my way to the other. I'm like, wow, two jobs. And he's telling me how he had a condo over here, and I was like, you have family here. He lives with his I forgot, one his child and his parent. And he was like, he's taking care of, I guess, both of them. I'm like, wow, that's amazing. So some of it may be BS, how men do, especially black men, but still, the fact that he's working two jobs and taking care of his child and living with family, that's awesome. you know Thank you to him for extending his number to me, extending his gratitude and graciousness. Thank you to him for thinking enough about me to have the bus man stop for me. Thank you for thinking I was important enough for you to tell me that, to make sure that I knew that. So I thank God for him. Thank you for blessing me with your presence and your positivity today, young man. I forgot your name, but thank you so much. Who else am I thankful to? Boy, thankful again for the transportation providers in Hallandale Beach. Thank you for being open and honest, getting to know me. Thank you to each and every one of my bus drivers. Thank you so much. I'm not gonna say no names, but bus driver one that I haven't seen lately, for having these deep spiritual conversations for me, for knowing who I am, for when you see me looking sad or down or any way that you feel like is not good for me to be feeling, that you will come and check on me and say, hey, is everything okay? You don't care who's there. You will stop the bus, come to the back, and say, are you doing all right? you know and I want to say thank you to him. I really appreciate you for doing that. I appreciated you from the first day I ever caught your bus, when you took the time to get to know me and ask me who I was. And I do have an understanding that women are like throwing themselves at him, and thank you for recognizing that's not me, and thank you for treating me like a woman that has respect about myself, instead of like some big old groupie. Thank you for understanding that my mind and my spirit is higher, and not putting me into that frame of, because I could easily be a groupie. But thank you for not putting me into that frame. Thank you for appreciating me and understanding me. Bus driver number two, thank you for being sweet to me, even though there were some bus drivers that have been rude. Thank you for standing up and, being sweet to me regardless. Thank you for taking your time to talk to me for 45 minutes and tell me, sharing the word and the spirit with me. Thank you for that. Bus driver number three, thank you for being kind to me and courteous. Thank you for just being nice to me. Bus driver number four, thank you for knowing where I get off. Thank you. Bus driver number five, thank you again for taking the time to tell me things that you think I need to know about me. Thank you to all those bus drivers. Um, Thank you for the people of Aventura that are nice to each other. It's good to see that. It uplifts my spirit to see that people can be good to each other for absolutely no reason. Thank you for the man that I bumped into at the store that he remembered me needing help opening something, walking down the street with a can of cheese or something. And thank you for remembering me. But my time is up, but I just want to give thanks. Bye.